A former stylist for the Ellen DeGeneres show, Jen was inspired by her own children and lack of stylish pajamas and play clothes that were also eco-friendly for them to start her own company. Since then, she has been listed in Forbes' Next 100 and was recently featured in her hometown's Austin Business Journal as La Paloma was just picked up by J. Crew Marketplace, in addition to being sold through Maisonette and other fine women's and children's boutiques throughout the country. Here's Jen. Hey guys, welcome back to Live the Glamour Chat. I am so excited for this week's guest. She's on and she is going to be talking about her collection. Her name is Jen Pinkston and the brand is called La Paloma. And I'm going to let you jump in and just introduce exactly what it is that you do with your brand.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. This is so fun. So La Paloma, we make artful pieces for women and kids to sleep, lounge, and play. And it started really spontaneously one night. I was getting my own two girls ready for bed, and my daughter had a pajama that was getting stuck on her head, and the fabric was already pilling. And I had been searching the internet for like what she wanted to wear for weeks and couldn't find it. So I'm in this moment, I was like so frustrated. And all of a sudden I was like, wait, I think I can do this. So my background is in textiles and apparel.
Okay.
And then I was a wardrobe stylist in LA for 10 years before we moved back to Austin. And so my husband was traveling that night. I got back downstairs with my laptop and just like started Googling, like, where do you buy fabric and all of these things. And so we launched with our signature house dress in May of 2020. And it was a wild time to launch a new business.
Yes, very.
Like, that ship had sailed so far that it was like, there's no going back.
Yeah, by May.
Yes. And so, I mean, luckily we launched with something that was supposed to be like very casual and comfortable and for kids to wear like 24/7. And so it was at least a good category to be in. And so we've added like classic pajama sets, organic cotton pajama sets, matching women's house dresses too, which are like now our bestseller. And lots of other little pieces. But we believe in like the magic of childhood and that these pieces should be artful and inspiring, and anything we can do just to like
make it fun.
Yeah, elevate.
Yeah. It's funny, like you're saying that because I have two nieces. My sister has a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. And there's this whole conversation. It literally, there's always a conversation about like cute pajamas to wear to bed and lounge wear. And it's the same with her. Like she loves finding pieces that they can all wear together. And there is that, like that struggle that you mentioned. I know because I see it, like putting some like sets over their heads. Like you feel bad.
You're like, just breathe. It's like going through the birth canal.
Yeah. It's like you're stretching. And I think me and my sister always will be, we say to each other all the time, we're like, I just don't understand why. So it's,
I know.
Yeah, like why is it so tight? But it's refreshing to hear. And I think coming from someone who is having that experience is who really, like someone like you really understand it. You really know.
Yes. It's so interesting. Like I think most people have the experience where like they have the idea and then they go and do the research.
Yes.
Where I had just organically been doing the research because my daughter like didn't want to sleep in anything she had. Wow. And so when I had the idea, I was like, oh, I already know what's out there.
You already knew what you couldn't find.
That box has been checked. But I don't know about your nieces, but my daughters, they want to wake up on the weekend and they want to go like straight to breakfast or straight to the park. Like they don't really want to change either. So that was a big thing, is like the fabrics shouldn't be sheer. They should be really cute silhouettes that they can like wear out and about. And now we hear from moms that are like, I have to rush my daughter's La Palomas to the washing machine when she gets into the bath because it's the only time she will take them off. And that is just music to my ears.
It's so great. And I like that you did that. Like you came up with an idea that does kind of, because kids do want that. And honestly, for parents in general, the whole process of getting them out of pajamas and into pajamas, or like the struggle at night. I think if they, especially when they when they want to put something on, bath time and everything is so much easier because it's like, hey, take your bath and we can get right into your favorite, So I mean, that's nice in itself. I want to talk a little bit about the house dresses because I feel like that's coming back. I'm seeing it more.
Totally. And so when we decided to launch our women's house dress, I'm not a huge robe person, which I feel like is an unpopular opinion, but I don't really get out of the shower and put on a robe, but I also don't always want to go like straight into
No.
clothes.
Yeah.
And so this is like the piece. All of our house dresses have these elastic necklines and like the V-neck, so it's super flattering. It's also super easy to pull on. You can breastfeed in it. It's easy for kids to put over their heads. So it's that like after shower piece for me. And then I also just, when we vacation with other families in the summer or whenever, and you're sharing a house and you want to like get out of bed and go make a cup of coffee, but you're like, what
Yeah. No, it makes so much sense.
And like, so these are like cute. And I see people, we were at the farmer's market and we saw a mom just like matching her daughter standing in line for the lemonade. And that's kind of the idea is like, you can wear it to sleep. You can wear it the next morning. You can run errands in it. It's a really just like easy, versatile piece that feels pretty and not constricting or anything.
And versatile. I feel like you can, I always change. It's funny because I'm not a robe person either. And I always want to be like, I'm always like, everybody always puts their makeup on in robes and gets, and I'm like, I usually throw a t-shirt on. Like, that's just like an oversized t-shirt.
Oh, you
and like, it's, I now like you're saying, and I'm like, I would totally love this because I also hate, like, I always am conflicted with being in just a t-shirt and feeling like not fully dressed.
Totally. Yeah. And you're like, in theory, it's the same idea as a dress, but everybody knows it's just a shirt.
Right, exactly. So I like this a lot. And I think it's really cute that you can match some of it if you wanted to too, because that's like nice that you're in a similar, your kids can be the same. You can. Yeah. So nice. What like what kind of fabrics do you typically or use for it?
Yeah, so we really believe in using natural fibers. It's much more sustainable. It's better for kids. They're breathable, better for the planet. And so all of our house dresses are 100% cotton. All of our knit pajama sets are organic cotton.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we want to move to having everything organic. There are some like fabric minimums that keep us from being able to do it in our wovens just yet, but there's so many synthetic like PJs and loungewear, and even some things like bamboo and things that sound really organic. If you look at the methods used for making them, they're really not. And it's like a very chemical intensive process.
Oh, wow.
So
it's interesting to
isn't
know.
it?
Yeah, because you hear, I mean, I see bamboo. I've seen it a lot more lately. And you just think like, oh, wow, that's probably very good. But if they're using chemicals, it's completely defeats the
break down the wood pulp. It's a little, not super fun to talk about, but so using cotton and using other natural fibers is a big thing for us.
Because you don't have to do as much processing, I guess. Is that why?
Less chemical processing. It biodegrades naturally back into the earth. So it's not going to sit like in a landfill forever. A lot of synthetics are made from like petrochemicals, like monoacrylic or polyester, stuff like that. So
it's good. I think it's, I mean, not to like to get too deep into it, but I feel like it's a good topic because I don't think a lot of consumers know that or customers understand that. And you don't realize that it's like those little things that if you start paying attention to, will make a huge difference.
Yeah.
And you don't know it, like unless it's explained to people, it's a little bit, it's not something that you necessarily think about or have concern about until you hear it and you're like, oh, okay, that's why I should care.
Well, and it's like natural fibers, like they tend to be a little more expensive than synthetics.
Right.
Then if you look at how long kids can wear them, like my daughters are still wearing some of the samples that we sampled before we even launched because our dress silhouettes are really easy and you can kind of wear them at a lot of different lengths, and the fabric hardly looks any different. They go through the washing machine, they go through the dryer. So you pay a little bit more sometimes for nicer quality, but you're going to wear it. You're going to be able to pass it along to like nieces, cousins.
Ones.
So they really do. It really is worth
it is. Yeah. Especially I mean, I think kids are so picky when it comes to the fabric. They like know, they know fabric.
Oh, yes.
They're like,
be like, nope.
Yeah. And they will not like, they won't go near it. It's the funniest thing because it's like, That, and like you said, like the colors and styles and prints. I know my nieces are they're so specific about what they want on a pajama, and you're just like, okay.
I know. Yeah, it's so opinionated, which I love. I love that
It's
they
good. It's so good. Yeah, it's adorable. I like it because I'm just like, good. You're forming the like. This is how it
totally
should be. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter has always been super into art. Like last year for Halloween, she was Frida Kahlo.
Oh
Like
wow,
we actually go to like different cities and she'll be like,
that's so
oh, can
cute.
you go to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum or whatever?
Oh,
But I remember that night, that was like one of the things I was thinking about was like, why do we give them like
the
cheesy, like
crappy. Yeah,
conversation heart prints when like they're ready for like real
it's
beautiful, like artist created.
they are, and the more they see it, the more they are
100%,
inspired and they want it. Yeah,
like
yeah.
inform their point of view for sure.
Exactly. It's so nice. I can't wait to like go look through now that you're saying it. I'm like, I know I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna be sending it to my sister, and because I know she'll be very into it. Um, I let's talk a little bit about the brand because I know I saw I guess let's say where is it being sold first of all? Like,
Yeah. So we launched and we were just on our own site. And I sort of thought, like, oh, that's what will happen. And then we had, I don't know if you're familiar with the Poppy stores on the West Coast,
a
but
little bit, yeah.
they reached out about doing wholesale. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe we would do wholesale. And then it was really fun to be in some of these other brick and mortars
Hmm.
across the country because now we were able to reach a customer that wasn't, just in Austin or wasn't connected to us already,
Right.
and so that was really fun. So we
Hmm.
sell in like a handful of brick and mortars around the country.
Oh, nice.
The Get Along and Patch in Nashville, Pitt Street Kids
Hmm.
outside of Charleston, just
Okay.
some really fun stores that we feel like really
You
mirror
like
the
connected,
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we just launched in J. Crew about a month ago, which has been so exciting because I was the biggest J. Crew fan, like
Yeah.
growing up, and
That's
definitely,
amazing.
yeah, definitely like the Jenna Lyons era, especially.
Yes, me too. Yeah. It's like how
Um,
you know J. Crew, I feel
yes,
like, you know?
oh my gosh,
Like,
totally. And they're having such a comeback, and so I
yeah.
feel so happy that we can be part of that
That's
association
amazing. So
now.
are you does it depend on the stores, like the locations of the stores or?
We're all online right now.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you go to J. Crew, you can find the
You
collection
can
there.
search La Paloma and you will see some of our pieces
Oh,
because
it's
they don't
awesome.
carry everything, but I think
Right.
there's like 16 or 18 different pieces.
Oh,
But
that's so nice.
it's been really fun. It's been
Yeah,
great.
that's
Yes.
great. Oh my God. And then I also know you were in the Forbes Next 100, I believe.
Yes. Next 1000. It
Next
wasn't quite that
1000.
exclusive.
Yes, that is incredible.
Thank you.
That is me. I mean, oh,
So that
congratulations.
came out last summer, and we were actually on vacation with my parents, and the email came through asking for like more information to like
Right.
vet us. And I remember thinking it was spam. And I passed my phone to my husband and I was like, is this real? And he kind of looked at it and he was like, well, it is like an at Forbes email address. Like,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
it might be real. And so I
Oh, that
submitted the information that night. We were supposed to fly back to Texas the next morning, but like never thinking I had a chance and was just, yeah.
and never knowing if it's what's real, what's I mean,
Yeah,
wow.
totally. So that was just, yeah, so
That's
awesome.
incredible. Yeah, especially being a relatively new brand, like it's not
Totally.
I know I work with brands, on a consulting side, and it's so hard to make those kind of moves and to get seen and to be out there and to be promoted. I mean, there's just so many different things for a new brand to do. To get recognized in that way is such a big honor. So I feel like
Thank
it's
you.
amazing. You should be
That
very proud of that.
that is so true though. Like
Yeah.
it is a very noisy space these days.
Very, yeah. And I think, it's like you have to break through it, and also, having the quality and having the thought and attention that you're putting behind it. I mean, that's a big part of why I like to do this, because I feel like there's so many brands out there that, are created by individual people and are doing it for like a real purpose,
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that like it's such a long game
Oh yeah.
where you have this idea and you're like, everyone is going to love it. And it's going to be such a runaway success. And it's more just like it's incremental wins and
Yes.
building on that. And you see the growth, but it takes years and
Does.
years
It takes
of
so
like,
so much time.
yeah.
it's worth it. I feel like in the end, to just keep going and build something that a lot of people can enjoy and appreciate. So,
Totally.
what are your price points for, I guess some of the different items?
Yeah, so our kids' house dresses are 58.
So
Our kids' pieces go anywhere between like 52 and 62.
oh,
Having a pajama sale right now, so all of our pajama sets are $49.
that's
Um, and then our women's dresses are anywhere between 98 and 108.
hmm.
And then we have like little cotton padded headbands that
Oh,
are
how cute.
34. We have ruffle
Yeah.
pillows that are like so cute.
Oh, so you have some stuff outside of just
We have
the
some little
little
accessories.
accessories.
Yeah. And then we
Yeah.
work with like a traditional chain stitcher to personalize everything. And so she works on one of those traditional ornamentation machines. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like hand crank
Yes.
and they're like such pieces of art.
No
It's not like
way.
your like modern monogram.
Yeah.
Definitely,
That's
it's really special.
oh wow. That's amazing. That's like a very nice touch to have as part
Absolutely.
of the line.
Especially around the holidays. Like
Yeah.
people really enjoy putting like the names on the
Want to
pieces.
customize it. Yeah.
Yeah, they become like little keepsakes.
That's that's such a sweet touch. I love that. I think I think those are little special things that, when you go to a line like yours, that's what you'll get. You'll
Totally.
get those little touches that you
Yeah,
really
for
can't find anywhere
sure.
else. So, oh, that's so amazing. I want how long is the sale going on? Did you say the
It's
40?
going on for a week, so it
Okay.
will last until today's the second. Oh, actually, it will go until the 14th. So
Oh,
people
okay. So I could
a
put
good
that in
amount of time.
mind.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, this has been so
Yes.
fun. I love learning about new brands and what you're doing and how
Yes.
you get
Thank
started.
you.
I think that's one of the biggest questions that everyone always asks, like, how does someone get started? And
Gosh,
you
I
know,
know. It's like the the flip side of it being a really saturated market is the barrier to entry is so much lower
yeah,
now, like
yeah.
Shopify and social media. And if you want to figure something out, like it's out there. It's
I
available to you. Somebody's done it. Somebody's written about it, posted
yes.
about it on YouTube. Like,
I'm
yeah.
glad you're saying that because that's what I think you just need to keep hearing it. And like,
Uh,
there's always that like, well, what do I just Google it? Like that's always the question. And you're just like, yeah, just like
yeah.
dig in,
100%. Like that's how
do
we
your
found was
research.
where do I go to buy fabric? And so I ended up at the Javits Center. And then somebody at the Javits Center was like, go
Right.
across the street. There's a mall. And I was like, okay, I'm going across the street. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
where like all the best fabric is.
Were you there for the which one is it? The like accessory show or well not the
I
accessories
think
for the
I would
fabric
say
one?
for fabric. Yeah,
Fabric,
I
yeah.
think Fabric Expo or
Yeah.
something like
Like
that.
it's things like that you have to do that you
Yes.
don't even know. You may walk in and say like I have no idea, but at
Yes.
least you're getting yourself in the door and like can talk to people, ask questions.
Yeah. I randomly met this girl at one of the vendor tables and she was like, oh, I'm starting an all linen line of children's wear. And I was like, oh, I'm starting an all cotton line of pajamas. And like, we're still in touch today.
Oh,
And
that's
we're both just
yeah.
like in the starting
Doing
line.
your thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how it really works. I think there's always this big like fear of like I can't even get started, but you really do have to just get like
Yeah.
you went downstairs and just
Totally. Yeah. It's like next step. What's the next step?
yeah, and you just keep going with it, and then you have a beautiful line. I mean,
Oh,
that's all it takes. So I
thank
love it. Thank you so much, Jen, for this chat. So much
you.
information, and I feel like it'll be great for a lot of. I mean, this is the perfect time for anybody looking for holiday shopping. I think,
Totally.
yeah, for yourself, for kids,
Yes.
for your nieces like myself. So I think it's a lot of good shopping. All the information for La Paloma will be in the description box below. And as I always say, you guys can find it all on my social media. There will be links. This will be posted for everyone to see and check out. And then we'll also post back to you. Can you just let everybody know your Instagram where they can find the brand?
Yes, it's at Shop La Paloma on Instagram. And then we are just shoplapaloma.com is our
Oh,
website.
perfect. So we can
Yeah,
find everything there.
easy.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
This was
thank
so
you
much
for
fun.
having me. It was so much fun.
Have a good rest of the day. I'll
Thank
talk to you.
you. You too.